If you clicked on today's episode, you are probably looking to become more confident, right? Step into that confident and aligned and radiant version of you. But maybe you're noticing that there's some things getting in the way of that. Some things keeping you in these insecure cycles, this self-doubt, not feeling like your most confident self. And you clicked on the right episode. But instead of talking about the things that are going to make you most confident, let's talk about the things that are keeping you from being your most confident self. Today, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest things that were killing my confidence for so long. But the ironic thing is, these were things that A, I didn't know that I was doing, or B, thought that I was actually doing to become more confident without realizing that they were actually just keeping me insecure, keeping me misaligned, keeping me chasing this artificial confidence, like putting a Band-Aid on this lack of self-worth that I felt. These were things that were actually killing my confidence. And these are things that I think a lot of us are trapped in, cycles that we're trapped in, habits and patterns that we keep repeating, preventing us from stepping into our most confident and aligned and authentic selves. So I'm going to get into what these 3 specific things are and share personal examples that you will hopefully definitely be able to resonate with. But before we dive in, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Camille and I am the host of Fulfilled, the podcast that you are listening to or watching right now. And if you are new here, don't forget to press follow or subscribe wherever you are listening to the show. This would mean the world in my efforts to grow the Fulfilled community and also give you access to both episodes every Monday and Thursday when they come out. And if you are returning, again, be sure to press follow or subscribe if you are not already, but also leave a rating and review on the show. Your support in supporting the Fulfilled community would mean so much to me, and I would love to hear your thoughts and connect with you. Okay, let's dive in. What are the 3 biggest things that were killing my confidence and maybe killing yours as well? Number 1, seeking validation. I mean, this one for me was such a big one. I was seeking external validation for my entire life. What I wore, the career that I chose, who I dated, what I did on weekends, what I cooked for dinner, like you name it. I felt like I needed someone's approval. I felt like I needed someone to tell me like, that's the right answer. Like, good job. Literally in college, I remember so vividly, my college roommates at one point brought up to me jokingly, like messing around, like, why do you always say, is that weird? They pointed out that I always ask this question habitually after like doing something or after sharing something with them, like, is that weird? Asking if that choice that I made or that thing that I did, essentially asking for their approval or validation. Like I needed them to let me know if that was weird or that was normal, like that was the right decision and like a cool, normal thing to do. And it's so interesting, like until they said that to me, I didn't even know that I was doing it. And then I, of course, became aware that I was doing it like all the time. But what I was doing in asking that is I was just habitually resorting to everyone's opinion, right? Like I was asking people's opinion instead of trusting my own judgment. And so this lifelong seeking of external validation, what this was doing was trying to compensate for a lack of confidence that I felt within. Right? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. It's like maybe we feel insecure about something within ourselves. Maybe we're not feeling like we can fully trust our own judgment and aren't feeling confident within. So therefore we think that if someone else gives us the okay, if someone else approves us and validates us, then we'll feel more confident. Then we won't feel as insecure. It's like their approval and validation, whoever they are, right? Friends, family, social media, society, we give that more weight than our own validation, than our own approval. So what I noticed about always seeking external validation was that I always felt good in the moment, right? Like, okay, like they think it's a good idea, right? Or they think this outfit looks good, or they said I was doing a good job, or I got this amount of likes on my social media post, whatever. I always noticed it would leave me craving more. Like it was never enough. Yes, it felt good in the moment, but then it faded. And then I would just chase external validation in another way, or I would need more likes, or I would need more compliments, more approval and validation from that person. And this is just evidence that seeking external validation is not a deep way to build our confidence. It's not a lasting way to build our confidence. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a deep self-worth wound, a deep confident wound. It won't stop that bleeding. The Band-Aid will just fall off and leave us needing more. And I thought of this example this morning too, because I was a little bit tired. It's like when you're really tired, right? An easy way to fix that is to drink coffee, to turn to caffeine. But then the caffeine fades and then you're just left feeling more tired. So then you go for more caffeine, right? You go for the second, third, fourth cup of coffee. What you really need is a good nap. You need some rest, right? You need a good 8 hours of sleep. What you need to do is fix the problem instead of just chase those band-aids or chase those temporary fixes, right? It's the same with confidence. External validation, like that is our cup of coffee. That's the caffeine that we keep chasing when we're tired. But what we're doing is just continuing to avoid the deeper problem, which is that we're lacking confidence within ourselves. So that's the first reason why seeking external validation is never going to make us feel genuinely confident, is because it's always temporary. It's always that temporary external fix for a deep inner problem of lacking that confidence, of feeling good about ourselves. But another reason is whenever we seek external validation, we are strengthening our need and desire for that external validation. Every time that we turn outwards for that approval, for that person's validation, to feel good about ourselves, we are saying to ourselves essentially that I don't value your opinion, Camille, whoever you are, but I do value that person's opinion. I am going to prioritize their approval and validation over your own. We're essentially telling ourselves that we don't trust ourselves enough. We don't like ourselves enough. We don't feel good enough about ourselves to make our own decisions, to feel good about who we are, to feel good about what we're doing and how we're living our lives. So we need that external validation to compensate. And we're strengthening that muscle that automatically goes out there for it, instead of getting it within. So like I said in the beginning, I thought that this was boosting my confidence. I thought that seeking external validation and praise and approval would eventually make me feel really confident about myself, but it wasn't. It was just feeding my deep insecurities and masking it with these like dopamine spikes of getting compliments or getting likes or fill in the blank, right? So now, anytime I notice that desire come up, that habitual voice that makes me turn to get external validation, I'm very aware of it now, and I notice it come up. And what I take it as is a sign that there is something within me that I feel insecure about. There is some lack of confidence going on inside that an old me would just cover up with external validation. I would seek some sort of praise out there to get that boost to cover it, right? But now I see it as something I need to strengthen within myself. And beyond that, probably a sign that there's some work that we can do, right? There's some confidence to be built. There's some more skills to be gained. There is something to work through within, but the answer is not seeking external validation. So an example that's coming to mind, right? In my last relationship, I noticed I was always seeking external validation for it. Like I was always asking my friends and family, like, do you like him? What do you think about XYZ, And I'm realizing, looking back, it was because I felt insecure about the relationship. I didn't feel confident about that person as a partner. So I was looking for external approval to make me feel better about it. It was probably a sign that that relationship was not right for me, right? Because I needed other people to feel good about what I didn't feel good about within. Or maybe you feel insecure because you're just starting out at something, right? Maybe you're still a beginner and maybe you're not that great at it yet. It's not the external validation that's going to give you that strong confidence in starting this new thing. It's just continuing to build that skill. Growing that confidence from continuing to take steps forward and proving to yourself that you can, not proving to that person on social media or your friend or family that you can, proving it to you. That is how you strengthen the confidence. That's how I felt when I started the podcast, right? When I sucked in the beginning and when I was first starting out, yes, I was seeking external validation, but what I really needed to build confidence was to take steps forward and to learn and grow through the messy steps, through that beginning when it felt uncomfortable. And that is how I started to really gain confidence in it. The external validation felt good in the moment, but it never gave me that lasting confidence. Again, I was just continuing to seek more. So that's what I do now when I notice the external validation coming up, right? I turn inward and I ask, what is it that's making me feel a bit insecure about this situation, right? Is it that I need to learn a little bit more, get a little bit better, strengthen that skill? Is it maybe that I need to work on my positive self-talk, right? Like, is there a dialogue that I'm clinging to that's telling me that I should feel insecure, that's doubting who I am and my abilities? So what I do now is I rebel against that old me, that old version that would seek the external validation out there, and I give it to myself instead. I turn to that positive self-talk. I strengthen my skill, my ability to feel that genuine, deep, innate confidence. Because building it within ourselves will be that lasting sense of confidence and that self-belief instead of just seeking that Band-Aid. And we can do this by rebelling against that old version that maybe is so accustomed to seeking it out there instead. And I talk about this a little bit in my Rebelling Against the Old You episode. I'll link that below if you didn't check that one out. It's a really great one and would be a great one to follow this episode with. So ultimately, every time that we choose to validate ourselves instead, we are unlearning that need to seek external validation out there, because it's the seeking external validation that is secretly keeping us insecure. It's keeping us from feeling truly confident and stepping into that most confident version. Okay, second thing that I noticed was really killing my confidence, keeping me feeling insecure. Doing what looked good on the outside, but didn't feel good on the inside. So ultimately, another way of saying this was always prioritizing fitting in instead of doing what felt aligned to me, instead of being myself, right? Instead of trusting what I wanted and who I was. Because the truth is, yes, we all want to fit in, right? We all want to be liked. We all want to please other people. But I heard this quote recently that I really, really liked and resonated with that I want to share here. We can't be true to ourselves and try to fit in at the same time. It's a trade-off. We really have to pick one over the other. And I realized in reflecting, I was always prioritizing fitting in, prioritizing doing what looked good on the outside instead of doing what felt true to me, instead of being myself, instead of asking, what do I really want, right? Like, is this something that I want? Or am I doing this just to look good on the outside? And this quote really, really is true to me. And maybe it's true to you. Because when I think about any time I do something just because I think it'll look good on the outside, I'm not really being true to me. I'm not really prioritizing, but what do I want? And what feels aligned with me, right? Like, what do I value? What path do I want to take? What do I want to do this weekend? So a big one is like social plans. Like I shared in other episodes, like I was always saying yes to the social plans that I felt like I should, right? Or that my friends were doing, or felt pressured to do. But now I've gotten so good, probably too good, at saying no to plans when it doesn't align with me, when it's not something that I'm up for, when it's not maybe people I want to surround myself by, when it's not an activity that makes me feel good, that makes me feel confident, that I actually want to be doing. So there was an old version of me that would prioritize doing it because it looked good on the outside, right? I was pleasing those people. I was doing what I thought I, quote, should do. But then I was saying no to my true self. I was saying no to what I really wanted and what I really needed. And the thing is, anytime I did say yes to social plans, when I knew deep down I either didn't want to or didn't really align with this version of me and what I wanted to be valuing and prioritizing in this season of my life, I always went and my cup didn't feel full, right? Like I maybe would leave feeling a little bit insecure, like a bit down that I didn't trust my inner knowing and I didn't feel like my most confident and aligned self. I feel most confident when I am being true to me. The truth is, only we know what we need. Only we know who we truly are and what is going to light us up and what isn't, and what feels aligned and what doesn't. No one else knows that. And so if we're always prioritizing what that group of people's doing, right? Or what we're seeing people doing on social media, we're saying no to ourselves and yes to them. Because if we do what they're doing, then we'll fit in. And if we do what they're doing, then we'll feel like we're doing the right thing. We'll feel like we're on the right path. But deep down, we might know that we're saying no to ourselves. And I don't know about you, but that always makes me feel insecure. It always makes me question my confidence and question my self-knowing. And the way that I can tell if I'm saying yes to other people and saying no to myself is if it doesn't feel good within. Right? If I'm saying yes to things just to look good on the outside, often it doesn't feel aligned. And I know if it feels misaligned, that it means I'm chasing what's going to look good on the outside and pleasing that person and fitting in instead of aligning with my true self. So again, that could look like weekend plans, right? Like I shared, often I say no to weekend plans now if it's something that doesn't light me up, if it's something that doesn't align. And the harmful thing about this is if we prioritize what's going to look good on the outside for too long without asking what aligns within, without asking what does our true self need and want, it can get to a point where we fully lose sight of who we are and what we want. We might not even be able to really tune into our inner knowing, tune into our most authentic selves, because maybe for our whole lives, we've been prioritizing saying yes to other people, just doing what's going to check the box and look good on the outside, but maybe it never felt aligned within. And then I think it can hit a point where maybe we shove down our authenticity and inner knowing for so long that we forget how to tap into it. And again, I truly think this is living in a misaligned and insecure version of ourselves. It's chasing this false external confidence just because we see everyone else doing it. But if it doesn't feel good within, it is for a reason. So again, a younger version of me, she was doing everything because it looked good on the outside. She didn't even really know who she was on the inside. And she didn't let herself step into that because she was insecure. But this new version of me, one that feels far more confident, she's carved her own path. She's stepped away from just what everyone else is doing to actually ask, what do I want to do, right? Like what lights me up? And even though that feels uncomfortable to step away from what the masses might be doing, right? And step away from just fitting in and stepping into who we really are, it's so rewarding because that is how you build true confidence. And I just did a whole nother episode on stepping into your authentic self and why it can feel so hard, but why it is so rewarding and empowering. And this is similar to that, right? Like it's all about not just prioritizing fitting in, but prioritizing being authentic and true to us, saying yes to what aligns and saying no to what doesn't. And if we prioritize that, then we naturally fit in with the right people and in the right places. But it means we need to get our priorities aligned. So how I do that now is I simply ask myself, like, does this feel aligned? Is this something that I really want to say yes to? Or am I saying yes just to look good to someone, right? Or to please someone? Am I just saying yes because it'll look good on the surface? If that's the case, then I say no. Then I ask, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And what do I value? And I follow that path. So that's the second one, doing things just because they look good on the outside or doing things just to fit in. It is secretly keeping us insecure and keeping us from stepping into our most aligned and confident selves. I know it kept me from stepping into that version for a long time. And quick aside, if you are looking to step into your true potential, but maybe noticing that some of these cycles are keeping you in a bit of insecurity, preventing you from stepping into that most confident and aligned version of you, maybe not knowing even what that path looks like or how to do it, check out my website linked below. I'm working one-on-one with clients in my life coaching practice where I help you step into your full potential, work through these exact things that are keeping so many of us stuck, that were keeping me stuck for a long time. And you deserve to step into your true potential. So if that resonates with you, if you're just curious what it's about, want to explore, maybe set up a free call with me, check out that website, learn more about what I have to offer. And I would love to learn more about your life and help you step into your true potential. Okay, let's get back to the episode. And I don't know if you noticed this too, but anytime that you do something just to fit in, or anytime you do something just because it's going to look good on the outside, do you notice that it might cause you to seek more external validation, right? Because you need evidence that you are fitting in. You need evidence that you're doing this because it does look good on the outside. You're like, okay, well, if it's going to feel misaligned within, I want to at least make sure that it's coming across good to those people that I want to impress, right? So I think that's another interesting thing. It kind of ties to the first one because I notice any time that I do that, or an old version of myself that would do that, of course, I still do this sometimes, right? Like these are habitual things we need to unlearn. I feel more insecure. I find that desire for external validation resurfacing if I say yes to something just to look good on the outside. Okay, moving on to number 3. The third thing, the final thing, honestly, one of the biggest things that was preventing me from feeling my most confident, from stepping into this confident version of myself, who still has a long way to go, but this was a big thing that was keeping me insecure for a long time. Waiting for permission and waiting to feel ready. Ultimately, waiting instead of doing. Overthinking taking action instead of putting one foot in front of the other. And the two biggest things keeping me waiting was waiting for some sort of permission, like feeling like I needed like my parents or friends or partner to tell me that it was a good idea and to like encourage me and give me the permission and the okay. Definitely like a habitual thing from seeking permission from our parents when we're young, right? Or maybe like waiting for someone to do something with me so that I didn't feel like it was all on me and I could kind of share that responsibility and share that experience if it didn't go right. But then the other thing keeping me waiting was waiting to feel ready. Wanting to feel 100% motivated, 100% excited, like I'm ready, like let's do it, waiting for that perfect time. So both of these things kept me waiting for a long time, from going for what I really wanted, from stepping into my most confident self. So tying this into personal examples, 3 huge things for me recently that have helped me become a very confident version of myself. Again, still very far off, but a lot more confident and a lot more aligned is starting the podcast and doing the podcast, leaving my job, solo traveling. These are 3 huge things that I thought were terrifying at one point in my life. And there was a version of me that kept wanting to wait, kept waiting for that permission, kept waiting to feel perfectly ready before starting, before taking the first step, before booking the plane ticket, before pressing record, before sending in my resignation, right? I kept waiting, even though I knew deep down, this is what I want to do. There was something within me that thought I needed to wait for the perfect time, that thought I needed someone's permission. And I was waiting because they felt scary. These were big changes, and these were things I was feeling insecure about. They would feel super uncertain and scary and new. But overthinking it and waiting for the right time, sitting in the thoughts, was never going to make me confident in any of these things. It was never going to make me more confident in the decision. It was never going to set me up more for starting. The waiting and the overthinking beforehand was just me ruminating on that fear and that anxiety of just doing it. But you want to know what actually made me more confident? Doing the thing. Right? Like starting the podcast, getting better with every episode, going on that solo trip and realizing like, what was I so afraid of? This is freaking awesome. Leaving my job, feeling that weight lifted off of my shoulders. I'm like, oh yeah, that is why I wanted to do this so badly. Ultimately, all is this to say, the waiting and the overthinking, whether that be waiting for permission, waiting for the right time, all it does is keep us in this loop of insecurity, this loop of self-doubt, of questioning, of fear. And the one thing that can actually help us feel more confident, help us take steps and build that confidence towards that thing is just by taking action, by putting one step in front of the other. And it's in the doing. That is how we build our confidence. But of course, there's a voice. I had that voice in the back of my mind saying like, okay, if I think about it a little bit more, then I'll feel a little bit more ready. Like I'll start tomorrow, right? Or I'll start next week when I've thought this through a little bit more, when I feel more ready. But the waiting just keeps us feeling less and less ready. We start to talk ourselves out of it, and we start to give ourselves reasons why it's not the right time. You only build that confidence through taking steps. I only started to feel confident once I actually did these things. As I continue to take steps towards these things, I feel my confidence rising and rising through that. So that's this last shift here, right? The longer we wait, the stronger that fear feels. It's like a tongue twister. Fear feels. But if we lean into taking action, if we lean into just going for it and doing it, we realize A, it's never as scary as we think, and B, you gain confidence as you learn along the way. Not that fake confidence, not that Band-Aid kind, but that deep, genuine confidence. And that just continues to compound and grow as you continue to take steps and do. And that is the secret to confidence, my friends. And honestly too, like life is too short to not go for what we want. You know, life is too short to keep waiting. We can take messy steps. We can just go for it. What are we waiting for, really, at the end of the day? You know, I always think of this too. Like, I think it's far scarier to envision an old version of myself looking back, regretting that she never went for it, regretting that she never took steps. To me, that is far scarier than taking the risk now, than putting myself out there, carving my own path, going for something, trying something new, being a beginner. So tying all of this together, what all of these have in common is true confidence comes from stepping into your true self, stepping away from all of these habits and patterns and cycles that are keeping us chasing something out there, chasing that external validation, trying to fit in, right? Or just waiting for that right time or waiting for that permission, and stepping into your true self, taking steps as that true self. That is where we build confidence. Being you regardless of what they think, right? Or regardless of their opinion, or regardless of what they are doing. And that is how we build confidence. And these are the 3 things that were killing my confidence and hopefully won't kill yours any longer. So if you resonated with something in today's episode, don't forget to press follow or subscribe wherever you are listening. I'm so grateful that you're all here, and leave a rating and review on the show. Leave a comment, share your thoughts with me. Just send me some love in any of these ways today. I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. So I'll see you all soon on your journeys to living this life fully.